Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.
Barb Bacon, and I'm a community advocate here in South Charlotte. If I had my buttons on today, it would be let's get some gun control. I'm tired of looking at the news and seeing this. Black Lives Matter in honor of our friend Joel, and let's have equal rights for everybody.
Hello, this is Jenny-Jaymes Gunn. I am a community advocate here in Charlotte, North Carolina for LGBT women's rights with the National Organization for Women, gun sense laws with Moms and Men Action, and anything that extends equity to all. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Cano. You're the co-host. My buttons are Moms and Men Action, gun sense legislation, healthcare for all, Medicare for all, and also in my heart, Black Lives Matter on behalf of Joe Oldham, who's a guest of ours who passed away last year. That's it.
Good morning, everybody. It is Coffee and Pan Dulce time.
Yeehaw!
We are on Thanksgiving Eve. It is one of our favorite times of the year. We talk about the holidays a lot, and I've muttered through after Halloween and survived Thanksgiving and Christmas for the rest of us. But anyway, It is November 27th. It's just weird to even say.
Wow.
We're here, we're here at the end of the year, and we start talking about other stuff. But what a wild ride it's been. But we got one more month after this, and then we're at the finish line. We're done.
That's right.
We get to go on into 2025, which I'm not going to miss 24. It's just one of those years where you just kind of you hold your breath all year. Just goes, oh, I just want to survive it. I just want to survive it. There's no way to live, but that's the state of our world right now. But yes, Christian, let's take it away.
All right. Yes, as Jenny said, when you watch this, it's going to be November 27th, which is Thanksgiving Eve. And we want to welcome everyone to Coffee and Pan Dulce. I'm Cano, one of your co-hosts, along with Jenny Gunn, and this is our 327th show. We're almost finished with our 7th season. We'll start our 8th season in January of 2025, as Jenny said. So I agree with you, Jenny. I'm not going to miss 2024. It was a short year. The good part is it seemed like it went by really fast.
It went by fast.
I mean, it went by very fast.
I don't know if it's the activity level or the, that nervous excitement that you get, knowing we're going to fight this battle again. Yeah. And it's so intense. And maybe just the intensity of how hard the MAGAs go at us and how hard we push back.
Yeah.
Just made us forget about a lot of other stuff when we just zip through the year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that we can take from 2024 that I think that we've all learned, and 2025 I think is going to be a very good year for all of us, regardless of the craziness, the clown show that's going on. And so, speaking of the clown show, I think I already said that. Thank you, everyone who's watching us. Thank you for those who join us on Facebook and YouTube, and the thousands who listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platform. So. We got a lot of things to talk about today. Today's title is 2025, the new 1929. For those who may know a little bit about history, I know if you're a MAGA, you probably don't know anything about history other than, history repeats itself. We did with the global pandemic. the anti-vaxxers. They were anti-vaxxers. There were conspiracy people back when the first pandemic was happened in the 1920s. History repeated itself. And those of us who try to learn from history will continue to try to believe in facts and data. And those who live in the alternative world, is that what the first Trump administration said, that it was like alternative facts or whatever the case may be. Anyway, for those who live in that world, I have come to the conclusion, or at least I have come to the understanding, that there are just two types of people in America. There are those who believe in facts and data and science and trust experts, and those who don't. And I'm going to stop trying to, I guess my New Year's resolution when we get to that show is going to be, I'm going to stop trying to convert the dumb people and just be thankful they're who they are, because it allows us to continue to move forward. So
I think a certain part of the human race has to be stupid.
Exactly.
So
we just have to admit it. We just have to.
We just put them in one political class. We put them in the Republican political class. Like all the people tend to be over there.
Yeah, and that's what you talked about in your show that you take before this one. We have a Democratic congressperson in Massachusetts who has been spouting all kinds of crazy anti-trans type of stuff. And my first response is, and I know I'm going on off the target here, but my first response is, I didn't realize he was that stupid.
Well, now we know.
Yeah, now we know. Exactly.
Now we know.
Now we know.
Like it's like a blessing when you keep your mouth shut and there's a little bit of doubt. When you open your mouth and say something stupid, you do end up called out. Like Jenny-Jaymes, and now this chuckle fuck up in Massachusetts is just wow. He's unfortunate, and I'm waiting for the switch parties.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. I want to tell you a very, very quick story, Jenny. One of my sister's husbands, when they had just gotten married, and we were driving in Florida somewhere, and I didn't really know him completely, but out of the blue, this person spouted some crazy ass conspiracy about President Obama. And it just took me off guard. And all it took me was to Google the Google machine. And it was a conspiracy that had been going around for like 10 years. And I showed it to the person. And at that moment, I realized, like you said, man, you are really stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful that I was exposed to that early on, because it really, it was just.
One of the things of being an out trans woman living in the South, especially the last 8 years being out of the closet. I lived in Texas and now North Carolina. The one thing I've noticed is the few people in real time, I'm not talking about the internet, everybody has Facebook balls, but real in-person guts, there's very few people that are going to come up to me because you can't tell how big I am on camera, but I'm a very tall, very strong, very muscular trans woman. And I've got a particular set of skills and quite a bit of confidence. So I don't get a lot of pushback in person. But every once in a while, when I get somebody that's an absolute idiot and wants to say something stupid, or, oh, do you think you're defying God if you're transitioning? And I go, this is when I sit back and I go, no, Hoss, let's think about this for a second. Boo-boo. I know that you have a fealty to your sky god and all that, and that's great. But I make people think and say, well, are there other women in your church, teenage girls in your church, that get different things that modify their body? Like, do you need them get braces for their teeth? Yeah. Do you need them get nose jobs or breast reductions or boob jobs? Do they get breast augmentation? Do they get Botox?
Yeah.
Because you're saying that God doesn't make mistakes. But there's
they're
church that
trying to correct mistakes
all the time, whether they admit it or not.
Sure.
Y'all all get Viagra's gender affirming medical care. Because it doesn't affirm you too much if the willy doesn't work.
That's a good point.
Man, with that little inchworm you got between your legs, and you take medication. Elon Musk did gender affirming healthcare because he got hair plugs.
Yeah.
His original face, his original headshot when he was running PayPal 20 years ago, 15 years ago.
He had a,
There was the thing. And now he's got a full William Shatner head of hair. We all know he's the hair club for men.
Yeah.
That's he's makes him look
speaking
more
of that. Yeah, speaking of that, we do have a show. We do have a show about him actually in December. But hey, listen, I've gone off a little bit. Let's jump directly. Let's jump directly into Barb's current events.
And this is Barb's current events.
All right, here we go, Jen. I got 3 of them. I'll go through them real quickly with you. The first one is Matt Gaetz. Been in the news. Everyone knows he's been nominated for Attorney General, biggest clown in the world. We got a lot of things going to happen in 2025. I think it's going to be fun for us to take a look at every single one of them. Well, it seems like not only did Matt Gaetz allegedly pay sex workers out of his Venmo, he also used his adopted son's PayPal to pay for sex to try to throw people off. And they're estimating it was like upwards of $10,000 that he allegedly is paid. So that's the everything keeps dripping out about him. The second thing is, this is not really a topic. I just want to hear what you have to say about it, Jen. There's been a lot of nominees that the new crazy Trump that's coming into office. And we also need to do a whole show about we can't normalize Trump. He is crazy. And we're trying to normalize him, or some people are trying to normalize him and make sense of him. And I think that's a natural human want, is to make crazy people normal so we can understand them. No, he's a little out there, and we have to continue to remind people this is not normal. So I don't know if you want to comment on all of the people, especially the Gabbert, the Hawaiian lady who's been nominated, the crazy guy, the Fox guy who they want to make the Secretary of Defense, and of course Matt Gaetz. It's like a clown show. It's going to be very interesting to see those. That's the second one. And then the last comment is kind of feeds into what we're going to be talking about, is the Trump economy. A lot of economists are saying if Trump just does a little bit of what he says he's going to do, which he does it because he wants to save face, he's got to do something, that all bets are off for a lot of people, especially people in the house, people who own houses. Because what's happening is there's a very large percentage of boomers that are still alive, that are in their 70s and 80s, and that will be passing away over the next 4 years. And when they pass away, their houses will be dumped into the housing market, which could possibly give us too many houses. And that in conjunction with he wants to get rid of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, I believe, means that we could have a housing glut, and people's investments, especially Gen Xers and some Gen Xers, but a lot of millennials who own houses, who have houses that have been overinflated, like here in Charlotte, they're up like 100% over what they were 10 years ago. That could dramatically drop. And they could actually be underwater in their mortgages, and that could be a ripple effect as far as the economy. So basically, what they're saying is this could be something very similar to what happened before the Great Depression, which is kind of what we're talking about this. So I want to hear what you have to say about those three. All right, sorry, Jenny, I made this a lot longer than I probably should have, but those are three. What do you think?
That's what she said. So a lot of the dynamics of the Great Depression and Great Recession are in play now. And I think because large investment companies have bought up their 7 million homes that are owned by corporations right now, which has driven prices up. But as the baby boomers, our parents' generation, passes on, which is going to happen. I mean, my dad's 81. There's definitely more years behind him than are ahead of him. He owns a home. My mom owns a home. My parents are divorced. They both are homeowners. They're going to pass on. Then their estate's going to sell the house. That's a lot of people. There's still a large contingent of baby boomers. We can just see by the voting. And you have to deal with that on top of these corporate buyouts of houses, on top of if they do crazy things with home loans and stuff like that. It's going to, even with the best of economic policies, it's going to be challenging. There's going to be another real estate bust, because what goes up real fast comes down just as fast. It's like an equal thing. And homes are overvalued and overpriced right now. They're not a good value. There's homes selling in Charlotte for $400,000 that are not $400,000. They're $150,000 homes selling for $400,000. It's ridiculous. And it's priced people out of the market because wages have not gone up. Median wages for the middle class have not gone anywhere near what home prices are. And so people are living multiple people to the house. They're spending too much money on rent or mortgage payments. And between that and the baby boomers passed away, it's going to be a mess. I predicted, and I'm still going to stick to it, there will be a housing crash by the end of 2025.
Okay.
There's going to be a fire sale in 2026. The houses are going to be so cheap. Part of why I would love to wait till 2026 to buy a house, because I know it's going to crash. I don't want to overpay for a house now. Matt Gaetz. I got no help for the man. Like, it's just, we all know he's a sexual predator. His best friend that arranged for that girl to be loaded on that plane and got sex trafficked is in prison for sex trafficking teenage girls. Yeah. And we all know how Matt Gaetz and most Republican men are. They all graduate from Brigham Young University.
I never heard that joke. All right, that's a good one.
It's just the truth.
Okay.
I can't.
So what do you think about the rest of his picks? Yeah, I mean, Matt Gaetz and Tulsi Gabbard and
we knew
defense guy.
Between the people that campaigned for him and advocated for him, and of course his donors, between Sissy SpaceX being a consultant, and that creepy little love affair between him and Trump, dumpster. And these picks, though, these are all obvious picks. RFK Jr. By the way, there's a great picture of RFK Jr. that said he's going to really be the health FDA director, or whatever the fuck his title is. Yeah. And there's a picture of him on a plane with a giant Big Mac, a large fry, and a big old Coke. But he's going to show us how to eat healthy. Sure. Live healthy. Hey, I love the fact, of course, the internet's forever. Yeah. There's tons of internet sleuths. We're going to drag these dumb people. And RFK Jr. The genetics is a funny thing. His dad was so smart and so intelligent. It was such a bright light. And his uncle, too, that was president. But gosh dang, did talent and brain skip a fucking generation? Because RFK Jr.'s kids are fairly normal. Yeah. But for some reason, RFK Jr. thinks he's a doctor when he's a lawyer. Yeah. And I think he's trying to build a case to cause a bunch of lawsuits so his lawyer buddies can make money. I think he's invested in this some way. I think he's crooked as fuck. Okay. Because that's just how you make money. He's in this for the money. We know that. He's a Kennedy. Okay. All right, listen. Thank you for sharing that. The three, and we'll come back and talk about our topic for a brief bit. We went just a little over in our first segment. So we'll be right back on Coffee and Pan Dulce right after this. Hey y'all, thanks for watching the Florida shows. They've been wildly successful. Obviously, it's a topic that you guys have enjoyed and wanted to know more of. And we like talking about the dumpster fire that used to be the state of Florida, and we'll probably talk about it some more this summer. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for watching.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for watching, and support local black and brown businesses, including our sponsor, Manolo Bakery. That has some fabulous pastries, food, king steaks, all kinds of specialty cakes, swallows, and much, much more. Some of the best food you eat in Charlotte, North Carolina. Again, Manolo's Bakery, right here in East Charlotte. Thanks for watching. Hey, y'all. Thanks for watching our spring shows and sticking with us. And we've got a fabulous summer lineup. I hope y'all are excited as I am. And let's enjoy our summers. Hot Girl Summer 2024. See y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for watching our Coffee Pan Dulce Show every week. Don't forget, you can watch us visually on our video podcast platforms on Facebook and YouTube. But you can also listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platforms like Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all of the other ones that your favorite, whatever your favorite is. Once again, thank you for watching us on Coffee Pan Dulce. We'll dance out.
So we have a great fall lineup, and we encourage you to tune in to many of our fabulous shows, like our Say show, and many more things in October and November as well. Thanks for watching, as always, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all. Welcome back, everyone. So listen, is 2025 going to be the new 1929 or the start of 1929? So, we did a show here. Jenny, you may remember this, maybe 2 years ago. We did a show about, is the Roaring Twenties going to occur, because it's 2020. And we did this right after, I think we did the show with the Small Business Administration individual here in Charlotte. And, we're talking about the Roaring Twenties and how really the economy is doing very, very well here post-pandemic. A lot of people haven't felt it because they say, I'm paying too much for eggs and this. Well, then you know what? Don't buy 3 dozen eggs, buy 2 dozen eggs, and besides, and I can't buy my cheap stuff at Hobby Lobby like I used to. Well, then don't buy all the cheap stuff. Anyway, make a long story short, there are some people who have not been feeling the economy is doing well, even though their salaries have gone up. They, I guess, somehow forgotten that. And those tend to be the individuals that exit polling is showing that voted for Trump. That was the number one issue. It was the economy, so to speak. So just get a little brief what happened. During the Roaring Twenties, young people, particularly urban and middle-class Americans, enjoyed the most prosperity and social freedoms with a notable group called the Flappers. They were young women who embraced their freedoms, their fashion, and their social attitudes. There was a cultural boom of music, specifically in the Black community, all across the country, but it wasn't shared by everyone. Rural farmers and some working class individuals did not experience the economic boom, which is why they voted that president in 1924. And then what happened in 1925, he implemented a bunch of policies that started to impact the economy. And then we had the great stock market crash, or they call it Black Friday, which started the Great Depression. And so, Jenny, I want to kind of hear what you have to think. Do we think it's going to happen this year, or is it something that, may take a while to happen? But, what are your thoughts about, I don't know. I'm curious about that because I got to prepare.
Well, we've made a lot of foolish economic mistakes in the last few years, and in the last decade or so, by allowing homes to be turned into a commodity with these special investment groups or SPACs. And it started about 12 years ago because the housing industry and the real estate experts, they lost the scam of balloon notes and the real estate crash in 2008, the Great Recession. And so they had to come up with a new scam. And it is buying homes up and commoditizing and actually taking a lot of homes out of inventory. So the prices go up ridiculously. Like there's some parts of the country where they've gone up 200-300% since 2010. That's going to have a major impact. One of the biggest investments a person can make is into their own home and buying a home. That's how you can have multi-generational wealth.
Sure.
But a lot of Gen Xers aren't buying homes because they can't afford to, and definitely millennials. Yeah. So they're paying rent. They're paying higher than normal housing prices because they're having to pay somebody else a profit. That's number one. Number two, if they increase cost of regular day goods, it's only going to affect the middle class and the lower economic ladders. It's not going to affect wealthy people. If you're a billionaire and you're making, $10 million a day, mm-hmm. If bread goes up 50 cents, it ain't going to affect you, or $1. Sure. It's going to affect people like us, regular people in the middle class and in the lower economic classes, that are going to be greatly affected, because when household goods and all your disposable goods cost you $3,000 to $4,000 more a year, which is going to easily cost families that. That's a lot of money if you're making $50,000 a year and your bills go up $3,000 just for shits and giggles. You're going to cut it out somewhere. Unlike the government where they just borrow more money, and just like billionaires that have enough disposable income to buy 10 times more products than they buy, because you only buy so many things, so many consumer electronics as a billionaire. But for us people, we're in trouble. We're in trouble because our budget, you have to economize somewhere. If all your bills, of all the things that you buy, you're going to buy less of something. Yeah. We got to eat, so it's not going to be food. It's going to be going out. So the people that have bars and restaurants and movie theaters and entertainment complexes and sports ball places and all these other things that we distract ourselves from daily life, streaming services, all these things that are optional. Your legs won't fall off if you get rid of all your streaming services. But if you pay more for your daily living, guess what's going to happen? Those $10 and $12 a month little bills, nope, that's done. I'm taking that off. I'll live without it. I'll just watch free YouTube. I'll play on TikTok more. I will develop a free hobby like hiking. I'll do things. I'll pivot to reduce my costs, because that's what humans do. When they do that, all these companies that provide these things, they're going to crash. Yeah. And as they devalue, as consumer goods companies lose sales over this, the American-owned companies are going to lose sales over this. They're going to cut jobs. And when they cut jobs, that's going to shatter the market. And it's one big cycle. There's going to be high unemployment. There's going to be high costs. And it's like a loop. We're in a feedback loop in the economy. It's all connected. Sure. And when costs go up and productivity goes down, you're going to have a crash of epic proportions. If he does everything he wants to do, which is cut school funding, which takes money out of the economy, if they cut all the mortgage programs, less people will buy houses that would have bought houses, which also the real estate broker don't get their commission. Mortgage company don't get their cut. All the people that do that, there'll be layoffs in all these industries, because if you are an employer and you have 100 people employed and you do less business, guess what you're going to do? Yeah. You're fired. And that's a major, major, major issue. And you're done. You are done.
Well, listen, I was trying to, while you were saying that, Jenny, I was trying to look up some other things that may have occurred in the 1920s, because I'm trying to give myself a crash course in history, because I had kind of forgot my American history. There was also an effort to mass deport immigrants right at the end of the Roaring '20s, when the Great Depression started. And I think that is something that we have to look at, specifically because the new administration that's coming in, the Trump administration. No one wants to use this phrase anymore, but there was a program called Operation Wetback. It was an Eisenhower program that started. That was I think it was a retired general who planted the idea that they were going to round up all these illegal, to secure the border. They were using the same terms that was being used currently, and we hear the same kind of rhetoric and talking points of what Trump wants to do, with rounding up illegal aliens, the way they term it, and it led to not only to help fuel the depression as well, but it also damaged the farming industry, and people's ability to, they needed workers. And so there was a lot of things that seemed to be very similar to what occurred in the 1920s after the world pandemic, and then after the Roaring '20s, and then someone came in and really just kind of destroyed the American economy and put us into a Great Depression. And that seems to be very similar to what Trump is doing. Now, what's amazing is he hasn't even taken office, but yet those concerns are being raised because he told us who he was the first election. He doesn't have the ability, and you've said this many times, he doesn't have the brain power, the bandwidth, or whatever the case is, to manage anything. And so it would take an incredible, great leap of faith and almost a miracle for him to take office and suddenly be, if he's even 50% decent, we're going to have problems. And that's like thinking very positively. And so I do think that anyway, that's kind of what we wanted to talk about this topic. But if you like what you hear from Jenny, she does have a show that comes on every Wednesday at 11:30. It's called Two Queers in a Truck. This last commercial is going to be talking about her show. So we'll be right back in Coffee and Pan Dulce right after this. Hey, I'm Christian Cano. I wanted to thank you so much for watching our Coffee and Pan Dulce shows. I also want to thank you so much for watching us on our video podcast, which is on Facebook and YouTube, but also for listening to us on our audio podcast shows on your favorite audio podcast platform like Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podcast Chaser, and many more. Once again, thanks for watching us and listening to us on Coffee and Pan Dulce. Bye, y'all.
Up next is Two Queers in a Truck with Jenny and Christian. And hope you guys tune in. We'll see you in about 15 to 20 minutes. Thank you. Bye.
Well, welcome back, everyone. So don't forget to join Jenny's show. It comes on and she was on you were on fire this morning. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. She was on fire.
Her hair was on fire this morning.
Her hair was on fire this morning.
I woke up and I had a late night last night and I'm super busy. Got a lot of good things going on, but it's just a busy time for me.
Okay.
But I woke up and I was like, I'm tired of being nice.
Sure.
I really want to say it like it is.
That's my motto.
Yeah.
That's the Dixie the Chicks song.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to be nice. That's right.
No, and we shouldn't have to feel like we have to play nice about this. We need to talk about
exactly
how he's going to wreck the economy. We need to talk about it to keep it from happening, because we can still compel Congress and we can scare the shit. The one good thing about politicians, even Republicans, especially in the Senate, they don't want to be unelected.
Yes.
Because 2026 will be here before you know it. And for the senators, and it's mostly Republicans that are up in the 2026 midterm, that's a short while. There's only 1 year in between. Yeah. 1 year. They got to get everything they've done. We got to try to minimize their damage that they could do in that 1 year. Just like Trump's first year, we've got to do everything we can that first year. They got everything to lose. Exactly. That's a good point. And if they listen, look. That's the good thing is self-preservation may save us all. Oh, that's an excellent point, Jenny, and I've been thinking about that as well. Listen, we're going to jump directly into our Pendejo Chronicles because we've run over. Here we go, Pendejo Chronicles.
And this is the Pendejo Chronicles. All right. The Pendejo of the week is our first female. Nancy Mace, the congressperson from the crazy state of South Carolina. She has proposed it's not even a law. She's proposed a resolution. She's proposed a resolution to ban the first transgender congressperson from the state of Delaware from using the women's bathrooms. That's what her resolution is saying, and she's saying this under the guise of she's saying she's a feminist. She's a feminist because she cares about women. She's a rape survivor, and she's using all of these things, and it's now Butch woman MTG is joining her and saying not only do they need to pass a resolution, but they need to pass a law to ban transgender people from using all federal bathrooms around the world, around the United States. And if any school district, which all school districts do, receive federal money, they should ban transgender. So this is the beginning of what I think is going to be their new, this is the modern version of the drag outrage from Moms for Liberty. This is what I think is going to occur in 2025, that all this legislation is going to be proposed to ban all. It's all unconstitutional. They don't care if it doesn't pass. All they want to do is try to pass this. So anyway, she receives our pendeja of the week. So Jenny, I know you talk about this briefly on your show. Do you have anything else to add about this crazy ass woman?
That's just nuts. She's not even crazy. She's stupid. Yeah. This whole bathroom fetish that they have with trans people is, the longer I live, the more I realize how dumb people are. I look at this shit, and it's just shit. It's shit in the shoebox. Yeah. So think about this for a second. Sarah McBride is her coworker, her incoming coworker. It would be like working a corporate job, because Congress is upper management in a corporation. It'd be like we'll use a local big corporation, Wells Fargo. And they've got executives that work here in town. They got a CEO, they got all these important people. It would be like knowing a new executive starting in January. We recruited them. They got approved by the board. You got a big old pay package. They're well known. They're a celebrity executive. They've done a really good job in their former bank job. And because they don't want to play in the same sandbox with them, because they are an idiot, they act like an idiotic 4-year-old all cracked up on candy. And they stomp their little feet and go, I don't want to go to the bathroom with the big scary trans girl. This is what it sounds like. They sound like fucking children, spoiled, rotten children, stomping their little feet, MTG over there being wine drunk, and being upset that a coworker is coming to work. This should be a professional setting. Congress should be a professional setting. And this tone that's been set by MAGAs and Mike Johnson is like a trash can full of flaming poop. These people have taken the decorum of Congress and lowered the bar so fucking low. Yeah. It's nauseating. That is the most classless, and I'm not going to even say crazy. It's not even crazy more. Crazy can be cute sometimes. They're not even cute. It is stupid. It is unprofessional. And Nancy Mace and MTG should be brought up on ethics charges. It should. If Sarah McBride and the ACLU should sue for workplace harassment immediately. So they should fucking sue. I would fucking sue. We need to start suing them under the table. Make bigots afraid again.
That's a good slogan. Hey, maybe we should make that a slogan. Make bigots afraid again. That should be our new Make America Great Again. All right. Hey, listen, we've run out of time. We went over a little bit, and I do apologize for that. But we're so grateful that you joined us. I want to thank everyone who's joined us, and I want to let you know that in December we do have the names of the shows that are coming out for our last month of the 7th season. The first show of December is going to be how Twitter became MySpace. We'll be talking about how there's a mass exodus of Twitter. We're going to dead name them. Twitter. And then the second show, we'll be talking about this person called Sissy SpaceX. We'll be talking about Sissy SpaceX, which is also, I understand, is the new First Lady of the United States, Elon Musk. So we'll be talking about Sissy SpaceX. And then the show that Jenny has been waiting for all year long because she has a list of grievances. I'm sure I'm on that list.
And you're going to hear about it.
That's right. It's the Festivus Show 2024. And then our last show of December to end our 7th season before we start our 8th season. And we'll also have some other shows coming online in 2025. We're going to end the year with Where is the War on Christmas? Every year, this is War on Christmas, and we'll be talking about where is the war on Christmas. All right. We want to thank everyone who's joining us. Thank you, Jenny. We will see you next week on Coffee and Dulce. That's out, I guess.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Have a great. Hey, listen. Thank you all for watching Coffee and Pan Dulce this week. Happy Thanksgiving. It is tomorrow. We are in Thanksgiving Eve, so this is the Thanksgiving Eve show, even though we didn't talk about Thanksgiving or Turkey Day. But anyway, we'll see if President Biden pardons the presidential turkey. And you guys have a great week and enjoy the holiday. Bye, y'all. Bye, baby.
Bye, y'all. We'll see you next week.
Next up, thanks for watching Coffee and Pan Dulce. Next up is Two Queers in a Truck. Stay tuned.
Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.
Sounds great.
You sounded like a telenova. I mean,
I'm trying this. All I have to say is go. Yes.
As a non-Spanish speaker.
Right, Jen, I'm just going to read what the Google machine says about the 1929, and then we can kind of talk about how we think it's compared.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Sorry, Jenny, I was trying to look to see when Operation Wetback. There was 2 forms of it. The last one was in the 1950s, but there was one in the 20s, and I don't remember. It wasn't called Operation Wetback.
No, it was
something. Yeah, it was very. It was different.
After the great Spanish flu pandemic, which is ironic because the Spanish flu pandemic started in the United States.
Yeah.
The COVIDs. But the Spanish flu basically was kind of the lead up to why the world changed economically and also World War One as well. Yeah. And it had a lot to do with the Great Depression. And then also a lot of mistakes by Herbert Hoover.
Yeah.
And so it's really, really similar to what we're going through now. We just had a pandemic. Yeah. And then you add, there's massive war going right now across the world. Quite frankly, you can hear what I'm saying is that the parallels between the 1920s and the 2020s
are very similar.
They're very similar, and it affects the economy. It's we've seen it.
Okay, hey, let's come back. Here we go.
Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.